On the defense, first tonight, the Prime Minister says his government's travel spending is worth it, but the opposition calls it reckless and out of touch. The debate takes center stage in Parliament. Also, after another fire at the International Bazaar, Grand Bahamas minister says government is ready to act, but claims the Port Authority is blocking progress. Just what's causing the delay? And as Christians worldwide enter the Lenten season, many focus on fasting and sacrifice. But the deeper meaning behind these 40 days? We sit down with a clergyman to explore how Lent can transform a believer's faith. Then in our news at 7:30, hundreds of UB students facing tuition and housing struggles after government grants were delayed. Student leaders demanding action and not just a fix, but a long-term solution. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Prime Minister Philip Davis standing by his government's travel spending, telling Parliament on Wednesday the benefits outweigh the costs. But still, opposition critics maintain government has been no less than reckless and needs to prioritize the country's needs. Bethany McDermott gets us started tonight with both sides.
After much speculation and public outcry, Prime Minister Philip Davis defended his administration's travel spending, saying the benefits gained by travel have far exceeded the costs. The mid-year budget report revealed that between January and December 2024, the government spent $10 million on travel and subsistence. It also revealed that an additional $2 million was allocated for travel in the office of the Prime Minister. As he moved debate on the amendment to the Value-Added Tax Act, Davis reasons the successful promotion of the country, strategic partnership, investments, advocacy, and coalition building are among the benefits.
Record-breaking visitor numbers, new airlift, the removal of our country from the blacklist, record investment in the pipeline, including the $1.5 billion in Grand Bahama alone. Yes. The $200 million agreement just forged with the Afri-Exim Bank for infrastructure will be an important catalyst for economic growth and jobs in our country.
Davis also cited partnerships with the Nature Conservancy and multiple collaborators worth $124 million to the country. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says playing a bigger role on the world stage means the Bahamas is hosting more events and world leaders.
In addition to raising our profile and reputation, there are direct economic benefits, as a group of very kind livery drivers assured me the other day.
Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands called the government travel spending reckless. East Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kwesi Thompson agreed, questioning the cost of travel, specifically in the office of the Prime Minister.
The numbers tell a story of not just financial indiscipline, but it is a betrayal of the public trust.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says mitigating risk and leveraging opportunities require outreach, collaboration, and strategic planning. Reporting for our news, I'm Bethany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much for that, Bethany. Well, less than 24 hours after another fire at the International Bazaar in Grand Bahama, the Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, told Parliament that government stands ready to acquire the property, but she claims Grand Bahama Port Authority is holding up the process. In June 2024, government signed a $50 million facility to build the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace, which will be a retail center and logistics hub for authentic Caribbean and African goods. At the time, Moxie said all 55 African countries would be represented at the marketplace, and the 20 Caribbean countries would be built at the old International Bazaar and Royal Oasis site. Just shy of a year later, no physical movement has been made.
The issue is the acquisition of the land, which the Port Authority is holding up on, because since 2006, the bazaar owners and the member for Kalani, we spoke about this the other day, the land owners owe the Port Authority for some maintenance charges. I would know. I would be aware of that, right? And so this is a $1.5 million amount that the bazaar owners owe that should have been written off. This is almost 20 years.
And Moxie, who you just heard from, was speaking on a point of clarification during the mid-year budget debate in Parliament Wednesday. It came during East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson's contribution to the debate. He asked for an update Thompson referenced comments from GBPA in a local daily that asked if a feasibility study was done and if a financial plan was done to determine the feasibility.
In June of last year, the government of the Bahamas signed a project preparation facility for the development of this Afro-Caribbean marketplace. The project preparation facility feasibility study, the architectural renderings, and all of that.
A retired boxer is set to be tried later this month on accusations he solicited sex from 3 underage girls and indecently assaulted them. James Killer Coakley's March 24 trial date was confirmed during a pre-trial review before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. Prosecutors alleged between January 1st, 2024 and February 7, 2024, Coakley allegedly obtained the girls' ages 15 and 16 in an attempt to have unlawful sexual intercourse with them. He's also accused of indecently assaulting the teens during the same period. Coakley remains on remand at the prison. Well, as the Lenten season begins, Christians worldwide embark on a 40-day journey of reflection, sacrifice, and spiritual renewal. But what is the true purpose behind this period of fasting and prayer? Delvado Emmanuel speaks with Dean Harry Bain, rector of Christ Church Cathedral, to understand why Lent is more than just a temporary commitment and how it can deeply impact a believer's walk with God.
It's a season of spiritual renewal, a time for sacrifice, self-reflection, and discipline for Christians. Lent marks the 40 days leading up to Easter, commemorating the time Jesus spent fasting in the wilderness. Ash Wednesday is officially here, and the start of the Lenten season is underway. The religious holiday is a significant part in the Christian faith as celebratory rituals observed for centuries. Dean Harry Bain of Christ Church Cathedral explains the significance of these 40 days in the Christian calendar.
It begins today, which is Ash Wednesday, and it goes for a 40-day period. It is a time for more intentional prayer, worship, fasting, yes, and it is a season also where we are to involve ourselves in what we say almsgiving, meaning reaching out especially and particularly to the poor and to those who are in need.
While many people think of Lent as a time to give up sweets or desires, Dean Bain believes that Lent should be a time to take on new spiritual practices that can truly transform one's life.
I'm of the view that we should give up those things, a lot of things that we know that is not healthy and good for us, it's not good for our spirituality, and give them up, period.
Dean Bain stresses that Lent is not a temporary fix, but a season that challenges believers to deeply examine and improve their relationship with God.
Let us be intentional about observing Lent. Not to just give up things for the sake of doing so, or for the popularity of doing so, for the self-gratification of doing so, but let's do so with an intentional purpose in mind, and that is to draw ourselves closer to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvado. And coming up in our news at 7:30, we'll take a look at a special Ash Wednesday service held in Pompey Square this morning, and we'll also hear from some of the attendees. Before we get to that, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendino, and a happy Wednesday evening, everybody. We have a very active cold front moving across central Florida. Show that in our satellite picture, but ahead of that front, we have a high-pressure ridge that's continuing to provide us with some very breezy conditions. Warm temperatures this evening, 77 degrees outside our studios with a few clouds. Your winds are out of the south-southeast at 17 miles per hour, and they are gusting high at times. Feels like temperature is a very warm 78. 78 degrees right now in Freeport as well as in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 77, Allenstown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros, 79, Great Harbor Key, 80, over in Governor's Harbor, 78, and we have some isolated showers across the northwest Bahamas. Kemps Bay, 78, we pick up 77, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, the Exumas, 76, as well as in Coburn Town, San Salvador, Deadman's Key, 78, and into the southeast Bahamas, 79, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Abraham's Bay, 78 in Delectable Bay, and Property and Chialas, Tricks and Caicos Islands, Matthewtown, Inagua, the warm spot right now at 81. Satellite radar composite, this is how things are looking. We have that active frontal boundary across central Florida. Earlier today, that front is now sagging into the southeast portions of the Florida Peninsula, but it is going to be entering the northwest Bahamas later on tonight with some isolated showers, possibly even an isolated thunderstorm if the front holds up. But once that front goes through, we expect some very strong winds ahead of it and behind it, looking for some gale watches and warnings for the northwest Bahamas, as well as some breezing conditions spreading in the central and southeast Bahamas by tomorrow afternoon. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, VJ Edgecombe's standout freshman season has him in the running for one of the most prestigious awards in college hoops. We'll tell you all about it.
Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
The City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. New edition, Tony Braxton, DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live, starring Ja Rule, Fat Joe, and Remy Ma, Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh.
Welcome to Our Sports is 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Just hours after he was recognized as one of the top shooting guards in NCAA basketball, VJ Edgecombe went out and proved why he's a finalist for the Jerry West Award. Edgecombe finished with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for his Baylor Bears in their 61-58 win over the TCU Horned Frogs on the road in Fort Worth, Texas. He shot 7 for 14 from the field and 3 for 7 from three-point range. With Baylor's NCAA tournament seeding on the line, the Bears improved to 18-12, 10-9 in the Big 12, and will host the Houston Cougars Saturday afternoon in the regular season finale. Frederick King had his first game in double figures since the opening month of the season, and it came in a milestone win for his Creighton Blue Jays. King finished with 12 points in Creighton's 79-61 win over the Seton Hall Pirates last night in Orangeville, New Jersey. He racked up his point total on 4 of 5 shooting from the field in just 9 minutes. With the win, Creighton improved to 21-9, 14-5 in the Big East, and tied the program record for conference wins in a single season. Bahamian throwers had several record-setting performances for their respective programs as the NCAA indoor season concluded. Northwestern State's Abner Johnson set a new national record in the weight throw at the Southland Conference Indoor Championships in Alabama. Johnson threw 17.80 meters to finish 7th at the meet and surpassed Perry Adderley's previous national record of 17.57 meters that stood since 2018. Fellow Bahamian and Northwestern teammate Taraj Hudson finished 10th with a throw of 16.78 meters. Over at the ACC Championships in Kentucky, Kalia Jackson also set a new national record in the women's weight throw. The Miami Hurricanes sophomore had a throw of 20.02 meters to finish 8th in the field and surpass her own record of 19.8 meters set just over 2 weeks ago. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Trump touts reciprocal tariffs in his address to Congress. Plus, the Vatican says the Pope well rested after respiratory failure. And smoke, grenades, scuffles, and tear gas as chaos erupts in Serbia's parliament. Opposition lawmakers protest government policies. The story when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. United States President Donald Trump touted his reciprocal tariffs policy in his address to Congress on Tuesday, saying it takes effect in early April. His 25% tariffs on Mexican and Canadian imports started the same day. Trump also claimed 21 million immigrants entered the United States illegally under President Joe Biden, calling many dangerous criminals. However, Border Patrol data shows about 7 million migrant crossings, including repeat offenders. While Trump highlighted a focus on criminals, a January 20th order expanded ICE arrests to non-criminals. ICE detained 14,000 people in Trump's first 3 weeks. That's double last year's daily average. Here's Trump.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries.
Meanwhile, those tariffs could make everyday items way more expensive for Americans. This as car prices could jump $3,000 as auto parts cross borders multiple times before assembly. Meanwhile, experts say beer, whiskey, and tequila will also cost more. As for houses, Experts say lumber tariffs could drive up home prices, making new builds even pricier. Maple syrup, gas, and avocados are also expected to cost a small fortune. Pope Francis woke up well-rested Wednesday morning after spending the night on non-invasive mechanical ventilation, the Vatican said. The 88-year-old pontiff has been hospitalized since mid-February for pneumonia. After 2 episodes of respiratory failure Monday, he began using an oxygen mask and ventilator, but has since switched to high-flow oxygen therapy. While he continues to alternate prayer and rest, he will miss Wednesday's Ash Mass. Vatican officials say his condition remains complex and doctors remain cautious. And chaos erupted in Serbia's parliament as opposition lawmakers set off smoke grenades and tear gas in protest against government policies and in support of student demonstrators. What started as outrage over a deadly train station collapse has grown into a major challenge for the government. Tensions hit a boiling point when opposition MPs scuffled with security and filled the chamber with smoke. The speaker confirmed 2 lawmakers were injured, 1 critical. Despite the mayhem, Parliament pushed ahead with plans to increase university funding. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was March 5th. Then in our news at 7:30, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell isn't holding back after F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands called government's $2 million travel reallocation reckless spending. Mitchell's sharp response and the heated debate coming up. Plus, faith and reflection in the heart of Nassau. Bahamians and tourists gathered at Pompey Square for a solemn Ash Wednesday service when our news returns.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Joshua Williams.
All right, on this day in Bahamian history in 1834, John Pope Hennessy was born in the United Kingdom. Hennessy served as governor and commander-in-chief of the Bahama Islands from 1873 to 1874. Then in 1892, the Bahamas Baptist Union was founded. The church's website points out its 117 years of history is marked by a journey of struggle and faith. Reverend Garthy Roll had served as superintendent from 2021. March 5th, 1985, the United States government and Bahamas government launched Operation Blue Lighting against drug traffickers in the country. If you want to learn more about the day that was March 5th, head over to ournews.bs. All right, Hot 91 and Our News teaming up to get you to this year's Jazz in the Gardens, March 8th and 9th, featuring Lauryn Hill, New Edition, Tony Braxton, Beanie Man, and more. Be sure to listen in to Hot 91 weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Jazz in the Gardens code phrase. You're going to need that code phrase because once you hear it, you've got to head over to hot91fm.com or the Music Media 242 app contest page to enter to win. The winner receives round-trip tickets, hotel, and concert tickets for you and a friend. So be sure to look out for the Our News team. We will be on the ground for the event, so we want you to tell us all about your experience. It's a Jazz in the Gardens Fly Away promotion. International Women's Day is just days away, and women all across the world are excelling, including right here at home. One of the areas where women are standing out, foreign diplomacy. Tonight, our Sasha Lightbourne introduces us to one of those women in the first of a 4-part series that features exclusive interviews with Bahamian women making history on the international stage.
Around the world, March 8th is observed as International Women's Day. Here at Our News, we decided to take a different approach to the stories we do to highlight the day. This year, we're focusing on women in diplomacy. And for the first time ever, the Bahamas has the most women serving in diplomatic posts per capita in the region. All of the women I spoke to are the first in their respective countries. First up, Dr. E. Monica Davis, the Consul General in Trinidad and Tobago.
I feel blessed, I feel grateful, I feel privileged, and I feel honored.
And being honored also means you're empowered.
It's a great fact that we have a growing population of women in diplomacy. And this, of course, will empower women because women are known to be nurturers and peacemakers and so on.
Dr. Davis gave this bit of advice for women who may be considering a career in foreign affairs.
Most things are indeed possible once you're prepared to put in the required element of work and patience and those kinds of things. And to show them that we can indeed, little by little, make a difference.
And this is not Davis's first rodeo. She's been serving in an honorary role for 20 years. She was recently confirmed as Consul General back on February 1st.
Trinidad and Tobago and the Bahamas have an excellent working relationship, professional relationship, and we have had no untoward incidents between our two states.
Davis, who's also an educator, says she stands on the shoulders of those who have come before her.
The recognition per se, I think first should go to the country, our sending state, our Bahamas. Second, recognition for those who have helped us to get where we are and those who will continue to help us where we are. And then at the end of that, we can say, okay, well, yeah, I did something.
Tomorrow, we will introduce you to the honorary consul in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
All right, thank you so much for that, Sasha. If you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us at News at 7. Joining us now is Atalia Hall with the latest headlines. Atalia?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy hump day.
We're almost there.
Halfway through the week.
Keep pushing. It's been tough.
Every time we read this Jazz in the Garden script,
You're
I
ready
promise
to go.
you I want to go. But
Next
hey,
time.
I know Denny's going to have a lot of fun.
She's going to have lots of fun. All right, thanks so much,
Yeah.
Ken. Well, coming up, students at the University of the Bahamas concerned about delayed government grants and lots of Bahamians gearing up for the 2025 Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival in Miami Gardens. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, hundreds of University of the Bahamas students are struggling to pay tuition and housing costs due to delayed government grants, some now demanding action. Our Joshua Williams has the story coming up. Also, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell isn't holding back in response to criticism over the Davis administration's travel budget. We have his full comments coming up. Plus, facility issues at the Public Disclosure Commission's office are no excuse for delays in public disclosures. Those words coming from the opposition leader Michael Pintard outside of the House of Assembly today. And later, as the Lenten season begins, Christians worldwide embark on 40 days of fasting and prayer. Lent can transform a believer's walk with God. When Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Strucum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Well, hundreds of University of the Bahamas students are struggling to pay tuition and housing costs after their grants from government have been delayed. For many students, it's how they make ends meet to stay in school. Student leadership sending out a memo this morning. Our Joshua Williams spoke with the SGA's president in this exclusive interview.
The Student Government Association at the University of the Bahamas says students are frustrated with payment delays from government, saying it's not only inconvenient but also a financial strain. The government's tertiary grant program subsidizes tuition and student aid at the University of the Bahamas, including the accommodation grant and nursing and teacher stipends. President Shante Deal says over the past few days, hundreds of students have told them they've not gotten their fund. The program was launched back in June 2019 under the Minister administration. In order to qualify, students must be Bahamian, be enrolled full-time, taking a minimum of 12 credits per semester, and maintain a cumulative GPA of 2.0. Despite meeting the requirement, she says nursing and teaching students are those affected most.
We need some supplies to help us with our matriculation through university. So through for our studies, I know a lot of teachers, they express time and time of course, they use some lies like markers, posters, things that they need to prepare their teacher plans, their lesson studies when they do go on teaching practice, etc.
That's not all. She says the delays have even prevented students from having proper housing, especially those coming from the family islands.
A lot of them are unable to balance work life and school life, so this sole dependence put them at a disadvantage when the payments are delayed. They try to speak with their landlords. They try to convince their landlords that payments are coming. However, when these payments are so late, months of that thing coming through, the landlords request that they be evicted.
Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin says the issue has to be resolved soon and a plan put in place to prevent it from happening again.
On my behalf, I have to apologize to the students for being placed in this dilemma. We're trying to get to the root of the deficit or the deficiency in the payment, and I will do my utmost to ensure that these funds are paid.
We reached out to the university, but they declined to comment on the matter. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell not mincing words on the opposition's view on the Davis administration's travel budget. Yesterday, Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands slammed the decision to reallocate $2 million to the Office of the Prime Minister for travel, calling the move reckless spending. Speaking to reporters outside of the House of Assembly Wednesday morning, Mitchell dismissed his comments but had this comeback.
First, he came with this statement, a stupid statement about the PLP and gangsterism. When he's condemned by the courts, he's fired as a minister of the government, so I guess he knows about gangsterism. Now he says all the travel budget is made up almost exclusively of public officials, not politicians, traveling on work on behalf of the people of the Bahamas. He says that's obscene. Well, he knows what obscene is, so I decided I'm not getting into the mud pit with a pig.
And the FNM leader has gone on record stating Mitchell should not run in the next general elections.
Stupidity with a capital S. That's foolishness. there's a song the Beatles have, say hello, goodbye. You say yes, I say no. You say why, I say I don't know. That's the F&M. I guess that's their job.
Facility issues at the Public Disclosure Commission's office is no excuse for a delay in public disclosures. Those comments coming from Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard, who made it clear as he spoke with reporters outside of the House of Assembly this morning. He was responding to comments Public Disclosure Commission Chairman Bishop Victor Cooper made in today's Tribune newspaper. Cooper reportedly told the Daily that inaccessibility to the office and facility issues slowed the processing of this year's public disclosures. But Pintard's not buying it.
The commission has to be more forthcoming in providing us with the list. We got several senators who were not compliant last time, but the commission refused to release the members of parliament, which is their obligation. This isn't an option that they have to withhold the information. A problem with the office does not affect all of us filling out the information and sending it in. Even if not all the details are there, the flexibility allows you to get in the core information and to update it. So really, we ought to be submitting that information.
All right, well, in the heart of Nassau, dozens gathered at Pompey Square for Ash Wednesday service led by Christ Church Cathedral, marking the beginning of Lent. Attendees sang hymns, embraced in fellowship, and shared the message of the gospel led by Father John Pinder.
You should not practice your piety for others to see. Now, of course, in one sense, when we read this story, we understand that Jesus is cautioning us not to allow the opinion and the recognition and the approval of others to become our gods. You see, in one sense, Jesus is encouraging the listeners to do all of these things in secret, to fast and to pray and to give alms in secret, because sometimes when we find ourselves doing all of these things for the approval of others, then the approval of others becomes our God.
For many, Lent also means making personal sacrifices to strengthen their spiritual journey.
From thus we came, and thus we will return, and this is a reminder of it, that to ignore sometimes the fast pace of life, and to remember we are all going to return to dust and return to our Savior.
All right, well, nice weather in the capital on this Wednesday. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome everybody for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 77 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. It is breezy on the outside. The winds are out of the south-southeast at 17 miles per hour, bringing in those very warm temperatures. Feels like temperature is at 78. Satellite radar composite, we do have a frontal boundary moving across central Florida as we speak, should be dropping into the southeast portion of Florida and into the northwest Bahamas in a short while. So we're looking for some scattered showers and isolated, possibly thunderstorms, mainly across the Florida area, but one or two of those could make it into the northwest Bahamas. Ahead of that, a high pressure system will continue to provide us with some breezy conditions, but that high will slide out. Once the front goes through, we expect those winds to be picking back up for the balance of the week. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, 2 lives were tragically lost on Tuesday in separate traffic accidents just hours apart in New Providence. We have the latest, and in tonight's City in Focus, several streets were renamed after prominent figures who left lasting legacies on the Grand Bahama community. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Diet friendly special.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Two lives lost in separate traffic collisions just hours apart in New Providence yesterday. The first incident unfolded on Sapodilla Avenue, where a woman was partially ejected from a vehicle following a deadly crash. But before officers could finish their initial investigations, they were called to another fatality, this time on Prince Charles Drive, just feet away from Doris Johnson Senior High School. Firefighters used the jaws of life to remove a man's lifeless body from a crumpled white car. Head of Division Chief Superintendent Sabrina Porter told reporters that speed is believed to have played a role in the fatal crash.
Shortly before 7 p.m., the police received a report of a traffic accident that occurred on Prince Charles Drive, just in the area of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Officers responded to the scene where they observed a white Toyota vehicle collided into a lamp pole. We can say at this time that the jaws of life had to be used to remove the lone male driver that was trapped in that vehicle. And we can also say that speed may have been a factor in this accident.
All right, investigations are ongoing. Now turning to Grand Bahama. During tonight's City in Focus, sponsored by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we take you to a recent celebration in Freeport. In honor of its 70th anniversary, the GBPA renamed several streets after three prominent figures who've left an indelible mark on the Grand Bahama community. It was a grand celebration in Freeport on Tuesday as part of the Grand Bahama Port Authority's milestone 70th anniversary. 3 streets have been renamed to honor local legends. A portion of Call Road in Freeport now bears the name of legendary basketball coach Gladstone Moon McPhee. The renaming ceremony was filled with applause as GBPA executives, students, and community supporters gathered to celebrate his contributions. East Atlantic Drive was also renamed in honor of longtime educator and former principal of Hawksville High School, Cecil J. Thompson. Thompson expressing his gratitude for the recognition.
They could not have selected a better street. East Atlantic Drive, that runs between the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the Grand Memorial Hospital, Kentucky. And so Christ the King and God is central in my life.
And Warriors Pride. This as Beachway was renamed after the late educator and athlete Anita Doherty, a nation builder who touched countless lives across the country. The street is near the Bishop Michael Eldon High School, where Doherty served as principal for many years.
I'm honored to declare that this portion of Beachway Drive is now named Anita Doherty Drive.
GBPA President Ian Roll highlighting the significance of this initiative.
A part of the Grand Bahama Port Authority's vision is to do some very impactful things that mean something to the people in Freeport. And so we wanted to focus on the real people that make a difference, nation builders, not the accountants and the lawyers. Yes, they do their part, but the people in the classroom, the coaches, for instance, they have touched the lives of so many kids.
Coming up in sports, VJ Edgecombe was named a Jerry West Award finalist, a breakout game for Frederick King, and some new national records in the weight throw.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Just hours after he was recognized as one of the top shooting guards in NCAA basketball, VJ Edgecombe went out and proved why he's a finalist for the Jerry West Award. Edgecombe finished with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for his Baylor Bears in their 61-58 win over the TCU Horned Frogs on the road in Fort Worth, Texas. He shot 7 for 14 from the field and 3 for 7 from three-point range. With Baylor's NCAA tournament seeding on the line, the Bears improved to 18-12, 10-9 in the Big 12, and will host the Houston Cougars Saturday afternoon in the regular season finale.
When you play with passion, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take. We know we needed a win. We got to keep rolling and stuff like that. But I just trying to do all the little things. Like you said, diving on the floor, diving into the bench. Whatever it takes to win.
Edgecombe came into his freshman season as a projected NBA lottery pick and the Bears' most highly touted recruit of this class. Yesterday, he was announced as one of 5 finalists for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame's Jerry West Shooting Guard of the Year award. He ranks 8th in the Big 12, averaging 16.3 points per game in conference play, and at 14.6 points per game, he's on pace for the 5th best scoring average by a freshman in Baylor history. Frederick King had his first game in double figures since the opening month of the season, and it came in a milestone win for his Creighton Blue Jays. King finished with 12 points in Creighton's 79-61 win over the Seton Hall Pirates last night in Orangeville, New Jersey. He racked up his point total on 4 of 5 shooting from the field in just 9 minutes. With the win, Creighton improved to 21-9, 14-5 in the Big East, and tied the program record for conference wins in a single season. They close out the regular season and have an opportunity to set a new record when they host Butler this Saturday. King has played sparingly this season as a junior, averaging 3.3 points and 1.9 rebounds in 6.7 minutes per game. He's also appeared in all 30 games with just 1 start, a season-high 14 points and 5 boards against Notre Dame. Bahamian throwers had several record-setting performances for their respective programs as the NCAA indoor season concluded. Northwestern State's Abner Johnson set a new national record in the weight throw at the Southland Conference Indoor Championships in Alabama. Johnson threw 17.80 meters to finish 7th at the meet and surpassed Perry Adderley's previous national record of 17.57 meters that stood since 2018. Fellow Bahamian and Northwestern teammate Taraj Hudson finished 10th with a throw of 16.78 meters. In the shot put, Johnson placed 8th with his best throw of 15.63 meters, while Hudson was 10th at 15.21 meters. Over at the ACC Championships in Kentucky, Kalia Jackson also set a new national record in the women's weight throw. The Miami Hurricanes sophomore had a throw of 20.02 meters to finish 8th in the field and surpass her own record of 19.8 meters set just over 2 weeks ago. She also became the first Bahamian woman to surpass the 20-meter barrier in the event. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Look, I know what you're thinking, the BAISS live stream, and I'm sure next year sponsors will do everything in their power to make sure you don't miss a minute of the meet. The answer is really very, very simple. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, hundreds of Bahamians are gearing up to head to South Florida for the annual Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival this weekend. Our Daniel Miller caught up with the event's producer. That's all coming up when our news continues. Stay with us.
A lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Strucum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Strucum, #1 in pest control services.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
This is our news. Welcome back. Frontal boundary dropping into the northwest Bahamas as we speak. Some isolated showers and thunderstorms ahead of the front. Some of that activity will be embedded in the front as well, but most of the activity will stay towards the north and away from us. High pressure in ahead of that front will slide out towards the east. Once that front goes through, very breezy conditions expected for portions of the Bahamas. So we have a near gale watch in effect for the northwest Bahamas as well as the central Bahamas, with the front going through by tonight and into tomorrow. Taking a look at our future forecast, moisture associated with that boundary dropping into the northwest Bahamas tonight through the capital tomorrow morning and quickly racing off towards the southeast. Cooler temperatures expected once that front goes through for the balance of the week. Boating forecast, we're asking you small craft operators and you beachgoers to stay out of the waters in the northwest Bahamas. Southwesterly winds ahead of the front. Shifting northwest to north, 15 to 25 north seas running 5 to 8 feet, but up to 10 feet offshore. High tide is at 12:36 in the morning. Your low tide takes place at 7:08 tomorrow morning as well. For the central and southeast portions of the Bahamas, small craft caution tonight, becoming likely an advisory for the central Bahamas tomorrow. Southeast to southerly winds 15 to 20 knots, and they will be gusting high at times, seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, beautiful conditions expected once that front goes through. Temperatures will be in the 70s, but by Saturday we will rebound back into the 80s, and then we expect another front by early next week. Temperatures go back to near normal. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, one event many Bahamians look forward to, including myself, is the annual Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival in South Florida, with hundreds of locals flying out this weekend to attend. Our Daniel Miller spoke to the event's producer, who says the festival is more than a weekend getaway. She tells us more in this report.
This year's Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival will be held at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. And this weekend, the Our News team will be there to cover it all. This will be my first time attending the annual event. And with a lineup like Doechii, Tony Braxton, Coco Jones, Ty Tribbett, Ja Rule, Escape, and more, I am excited to bring you all the highlights. Ahead of the festival, I spoke with the CEO of G Squared Events and the Black Promoters Collective, Gary Guidry, who is the producer for the popular event. The NAACP Trailblazer Award winner tells us the festival is always one to remember.
It's about family. It's about tradition, grandmother, daughter, and granddaughter, father, son, and grandfather. It's about the backyard experience of, having a home party.
Last year, our very own Sweet Emily performed at the festival. This year, reggae superstar Beanie Man will be on stage. Gary says the inclusion of Caribbean artists shows the event is rooted in ancestral heritage.
About Miami, you're talking about South Florida, you're talking about, a culture that's ingrained in that part of the country. How can we not include, our Afro-Caribbean, people that shaped our culture?
Sunday's headliner is R&B mega group New Edition, and on Saturday night, headliner Lauryn Hill will lead a diaspora set, which features artists Wyclef Jean, Busta Rhymes, YG Marley, and others, emphasizing the fact the Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival is more than a show, but a cultural experience. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, sounds so exciting. Well, Hot 91 and Our News are teaming up to get you to this year's Jazz in the Gardens Festival. And you just heard the lineup, March 8th and 9th, featuring Lauryn Hill, New Edition, Tony Braxton, and Beanie Man, and more. Be sure to listen in to Hot 91 weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Jazz in the Gardens code phrase. Once you hear it, head over to hot91fm.com or the Music Media 242 app contest page to enter. The winner will receive round-trip tickets, hotel, and concert tickets for you and a friend. And be sure to look out for the Our News team to tell us all about your experience as the Jazz in the Gardens Flyaway promotion. All right, and with that, we thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.